So we're here to talk about possible fantasy bookings for Karrion Kross, as he has been released. My name is PD Nice. But before we get into the Karrion Kross situation, Ashante the Adonis was also released. I don't know if they were released in the technical term, but their contracts were not renewed. I said during my autistic person trying to get WWE's attention video, it was the writing was on the wall for Ashante as they broke him up with his girlfriend, Brittany, on stage, like the kayfabe one, and he hasn't really been there since. So writing was on the wall. I also said you can only get so far with this womanizer flirt man gimmick. So I hope he finds his way. I actually think somehow he'll end up in first class in TNA with what's his name, Top Dollar. But we're here really to talk about Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Any group that I put Karrion Kross in, I normally would put Charlotte in. So I'm just gonna go through this really quick because it has nothing to do with Karrion Kross, but you need to know the idea of the fantasy booking beforehand. Braun Strowman returned to the Royal Rumble, has a thing with Uncle Howdy of the Wyatt Six. Over the weeks leading into the Elimination Chamber, they have mixed tag team matches where Eric Rowan is the only one to win. Braun Strowman's tag team partner is Alexa Bliss, and they're taking on Nikki and the three of them. And again, Eric Rowan is the only one to defeat Braun Strowman, and now we're at the Elimination Chamber where Uncle Howdy and Nikki Cross beat Braun and Alexa. Braun says since Alexa got pinned, he needs to face the Wyatts one on one. He beats everyone except Eric Rowan, and then at WrestleMania he beats Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy retires his Uncle Howdy gimmick somewhat. The following week on SmackDown, they're on SmackDown, and then the following week Uncle Howdy comes out and it's jumped by the Wyatt Six because he said in his promo, "Yeah, I don't think they got to go their own ways." So Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis jumped on the Aleister Black leading them, and Karrion Kross was part of the group. Beat down, beat down, beat down. Alexa Bliss comes out to make the save. Eric Rowan is nowhere to be found. He's trying to do the "which side am I going to choose" storyline. Nikki tries to help out the Wyatt Six, but Zelina Vega attacks her. And you get your tag team matches. Karrion Kross is in this too. I don't know if I said that. He's on Aleister's team. You get you know, your tag team matches, your mixed tag team matches, and all that in this group. And then I would say somewhere along the lines, Gacy and Loomis would have won the tag team titles. They would won title up from the. If you did this on Raw, they would be one title up from their Triple Crown. Not important because this is what I'm really trying to get at. Is I think that Kross and Black would have faced uh, Eric Rowan and Uncle Howdy at SummerSlam, where they would have won the titles. This group would go on for a little bit, but I think by the end of the year it would have been disbanded. Another thing I had an idea for Karrion Kross, and I'm just gonna take a little break before I say it, is his finishing move. What does he call it? The cross hammer. I like the cross out because you're literally knocking your opponent out with the elbow. That's my personal opinion. Another thought I had really quick before we go into the next segment. I liked Karrion Kross as a White Rabbit, but because the White Rabbit was able to show a very good acting skills, Karrion Kross never had that opportunity, unfortunately, in WWE. So where would you go with Karrion Kross? Now, well, here's where I would go. I thought he would be a great team with Tommaso Ciampa, and they call him No One Will Survive. And I think Mick Foley would have been a great manager for him, like getting that psycho kind of a mankind Mick Foley. And they would win the tag team titles. Kross would be the Intercontinental or United States champion, and we would go home happy that Kross was getting pushed until Mick Foley and Tommaso Ciampa at WrestleMania decided to leave him when he. I actually had him jumped out at Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. It was a quick move here, quick move there, and Sami within a minute got his United States title and beating Karrion Kross. Obviously, that's funny how Sami Zayn's the last person to actually defeat Karrion Kross. Oh, and they did not follow up with a stipulation for that match because Karrion Kross was supposed to admit Sami Zayn was right if they did that on one of the Netflix commercials. Well, I didn't see it. If they did it on Raw and I was ADDing, well, I missed that too. But I don't think it happened because I would have read something. Uh, and then I would have him going on this losing streak. Like, he fights. I think I would continue the feud with Ciampa. He gets banned from SmackDown. He loses to someone on Raw. He gets banned. At this point, we have the kayfabe Scarlett is going to get pregnant storyline. But she says, I don't want to be... she doesn't want to have Karrion Kross' kids because he's such a freaking loser at this point. And Karrion Kross is like a loser at NXT too. But he finally is able to grab the NXT Tag Team and North American title. I would have him go back with Uncle Howdy. But I started this idea with a Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt. And then Uncle Howdy when Bray passed away. But I think Kross could fit this idea too. Actually, Kross was always a person in here, sorry. It was always like Bray Wyatt and Kross, Uncle Howdy and Kross. Braun Strowman and Kross when you didn't have Uncle Howdy around. And then I would have had his career rebound from there, but I didn't really think too much. Those are the things like I had thought over the years we could do with Karrion Kross. I feel like there was another group I had with him in. Can't think of it off the top of my head, so I guess I think the WWE, I gotta get my final thoughts, and I think the WWE dropped the ball with him. I think he could have been something. I don't think he'll ever come back to WWE. He probably could be a good one for AEW if they want him. They could go to TNA, which would be weird because WWE has a relationship with TNA. But I know I mentioned Ashante going there earlier, but I think that fits him more. Kross also could be an indie guy, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him at my local indie promotion if I can ever make it out there because they always. I'm not going off a tangent here. I'm just gonna say they always are somehow doing something when I have something else to do. But as for Karrion Kross, I think it was a missed opportunity in WWE. I think he could have been an Intercontinental United States Champion. The way he was booked in WWE, he would never been a World Champion. But I think he could have been a World Champion if he got over as Intercontinental United States Champion. But I guess these are things that are better left in the past, or they're going to have to be left in the past, not better left to. And I wish Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Ashante the best in their future endeavors. And I just want to remind you guys that Scarlett spelled her name with 2 T's. Because I always, at the beginning when I didn't know that, I was like, oh crap, I didn't know that. Well, now I know that. That's how things played out. And I'm going to sign off by saying stay nice for disability rights.